So we've had many discussions regarding that. So early on, it was over towards Zieglerville Road that Schwanksville Water Authority had a property that it was proposed on. It was an interceptor line. More recently, we looked at 2 or 3 properties on Southborough Station Road, Olschlager's, as well as the Schmidt property there at the bottom of the creek. And so I think if the township was looking to perhaps work with us on a more community-based pump station that could service future homes and future residents, that pump station on either Olschlager's or Schmidt's property would be desirable.
So if the pump station was built on your property, who would pay for maintenance?
So we would look to dedicate that pump station to the township or the authority.
And am I correct, and I'm not going to look at Carol because I've been told if I turn away, no one can hear me. So I'm just going to say Carol. That the cost per year of maintaining a pump station is between $15,000 to $20,000?
That's correct.
That would be correct.
And so when we did that math and said, does that make sense for 47 homes? We then looked and said, we went down the low pressure grinder pump route. And understanding if that's not an option, the next suggestion from our perspective would be to build a pump station over on the Schmidt or Olschlager property that potentially could then service maybe 100 people's homes. And then all of a sudden that maintenance cost is used to service more people.
Well, that's highly theoretical.
Absolutely.
I mean, the maintenance cost is today, and the theoretical additional income is who knows when. And what about the original option when the plan was approved?
So again, that is still an option. It's just the expense to install that and potential expense to maintain that is something that we're aware of, and we're just bringing that to the board's attention to say, you know, if you ask us on our side what we think the solution would be, and I know this is different than what the Terry's view is, but it would be to have a low pressure system and have 47 homes on grinder pumps. But that again is just our perspective.
And what is the maintenance cost per year of having a lower pressure option?
So a low pressure system with grinder pumps.
No, the original option was.
Maintenance. I don't have that off the top of my head.
Well, that's a gravity sewer line, so it's not really any additional cost except for continuing to maintain the system against inflow and infiltration.
So Carol, you're saying that the original plan for sewer is a gravity fed, so you don't need any pumping, but there's going to be obviously greater cost to the developer installing that system, so greater upfront cost.
That would be correct. And a little bit more of a challenge for the municipality to maintain. We don't have any 20-foot deep manholes right now. That's quite a carry. And there's also the component of the existing Act 537 plan, which talks to this development in combination, solving potential or perceived problems in other locations. So in the Act 537 planning, the pump station that Ben was talking about is more consistent with the planning that was approved by DEP in 2014.
It takes care of some sales problems.
Yeah, I understand all that, but if we're just talking about dollars and cents, we're just talking about, this is not for you, this is for the board and the audience. We're talking about dollars and cents. We're talking about solving these potential problems at a cost of $15,000 to $20,000 a year to us, no matter what, whether even one more single home is connected, and the cost of running those lines to all of those homes. So we're talking a huge expenditure for something that's still theoretical. What's not theoretical is you need a sewage solution for 47 homes. That's what's on the table today.
That's true. That's why we're looking for direction. You know, we've obviously described what we think are the choices and options, and we're looking for feedback. financial assistance.
What kind of assistance?
If the idea was, and it sounds like Marlo's not necessarily on the page of putting a pump station, but if we were going to build a pump station, to build a pump station on someone else's property other than our own.
And with those other properties, do you own or have an agreement yet?
No, so I spent a year talking to people and was unable to acquire it.
All right, so you need the assistance of the township there.
That's correct.
Is there any questions? Dan?
Dan Orff, Pratt's Road. In your comparison, along with what Marla said, the original plan called for a deeper sewer line, which some people have said would cost you more money, but wouldn't you, if you went with the grinder pump solution, wouldn't you be passing along something like a $7,000 to $10,000 cost on every house? This would kind of balance it out. Plus, then you don't get involved with a whole bunch of things. It just seems to me that that's the most logical solution because of the financial considerations. I think, to me, it keeps us with the same type of sewer system, and it's the most cost-effective solution that's already approved. So, trying to go down these new paths are going to open manholes for you to fall in.
Sure. Any other questions?
Brian Hill, 11 Zinkroville Road. I'd like to continue to remind the Board of Supervisors that we do have a 537 that has been proposed, that has been placed in the DEP's hands, and that is real. What we are considering not only is this project, but those two other locations in the 537 that have been noted. I would ask you that you take not only this development into consideration, but also to complete the 537 Act, such that this has already been on the table since 2014. It's now 2019, and something needs to get done because the time is running out. I ask you to carefully consider the options. You're looking at a very short-sighted solution for a development, but what you're missing is the bigger picture for our community. So I understand that there is a cost difference, but we need to act upon what is before us, and that is the Act 537, not just the development that is being considered.
Any other? Sherry?
Sherry Schweigert, Schweig Road. I want to ask, were there other conditions of the original approval that cannot be met?
One of the conditions was for an additional home to be built. There was a piece of ground that wouldn't be able to be, is no longer available to be transferred to the township. The rest of the conditions.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your answer.
Sure. So there was one condition in the original approval, which was to convey a piece of ground to the township as open space. And for that, there was an additional home to be built in our community. That condition can no longer be met.
Which brings your total number of homes to
47.
48 average.
Yes.
And anticipating a question that'll come up, I obviously wasn't involved along the way, but I understand back in 2005, when the board granted conditional use approval, they had as condition that it dropped to 46 homes. And then you picked up another home through the zoning hearing board, but you can't comply with the condition.
So I don't have the document in front of me. I guess I was just going off of the plan that was approved in 2008. Had 48 on file. So I'm not sure what happened previous to that.
All right. Something to look at.
Yes.
Larry Cohen, Mine Hill Road. Ben, this is for you. What's the relationship between the Pennington Properties and Pennington Property Group?
Yeah, so Pennington Property Group is my business, and I act as a consultant to other developers. And so the folks that own the property here, I'm operating as a consultant for.
So the agenda says Pennington Properties, that should be actually Pennington Property Group?
That's correct.
Okay, so note that the agenda needs to be changed, or should be changed.
Chuck Geiser, North Bradford Road. My question is for our solicitor, once he's done, right? Have you had the opportunity to look at the conditional use documents and agreements that relate to this project?
No, I have not. It hasn't truly come before me yet, but that's something I'll have to do.
Because there are other things that were agreed to, like building a sewer plant with 100,000 gallon per day capacity, that have to get figured out in terms of what the developer and how we work with this developer should he continue to follow this conditional use. And, obviously that's not a trivial commitment on his part, and I think we would need to look to you to see how to handle that aspect of things.
Okay. Yeah, no, it will bubble to the surface again, and when it does, I'll work with the engineer and the manager to make sure I have all the proper documentation. I appreciate it. Linda?
Linda Jansen, Simmons Road. I don't know if this is I guess this would be a question for Mr. Belvoir. Mr. Goldthorpe continues to say that to go forward with the November 2018 revised submitted plans, that there would be modifications to our zoning ordinance needed. Well, the only reason that this plan from 2008 is still alive under the PMC, under the PMC, it's only a 5-year plan life. But because of the slowdown in the economy, the Pennsylvania legislature first passed Act 46, 87, and 54. So the reason that this plan is even being discussed is because of Act 54. That therefore grandfathers them under what the zoning was back then. So I'm not sure why we would need to change our present zoning ordinance to allow this plan to go forward.
Let me respond to that. The township doesn't have to change the zoning ordinance for any development. It's a legislative action. The board can take that action if it wants. When a plan comes in, the township has to gauge that plan against the then existing ordinances, as you know. Once a plan is approved, preliminarily approved, they have a 5-year window within which to develop. And during that 5-year window, they're protected from subsequent changes in the ordinance. So even after 5 years, that plan is still alive, but it's just subject to intervening
and
ordinances.
Act 54 actually did that.
And the Permit Extension
So I don't
Act.
understand why we would have to change our existing zoning ordinance to allow this plan to go through. I would think you just stay as it is and work with the, a plan that's already received approval
Right.
back in 2008.
Right, I hear it. I think there's 2 separate things going on. One is, can he move forward with the approved plan? Assuming he can meet all the conditions, yes, he can move forward with that. But secondly, he is here, and not just tonight, but overall, you're looking to revise somehow, some way, and perhaps in that process, you'll ask the board to amend its zoning ordinance. So there's more to be considered here.
But what would need to be changed in our current zoning ordinance was once you change it, it changes it for every project.
It does.
It changes it for everything. If we are just talking a site-specific project here, why would we have to change our whole zoning ordinances when they're already grandfathered under an approved plan?
Right, so yeah, I think we need more information in the form of an application or a revised plan that's reviewed by the township engineer, who's going to say, X doesn't comply with our zoning ordinance, and then presumably we come back and say, yeah, that's why I'm asking for an amendment to your zoning ordinance.
Well, wouldn't that be done by the legal waiver or zoning hearing board, something like
So, yeah, I think we're ahead of ourselves,
Okay.
yes. I think it's incumbent upon the applicant to come forward with something.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gilmore.
Is there any other? Ernie?
Ernie Schmidt, Silverbrook Drive. I really don't know where we're going with this. We've heard a lot of comments tonight. My chairman of the Planning Commission made a comment in regards to going back to 2008 and even before that time when there was the issue of we had no sewer capacity with a plant that had failed back then. There's no known secret. It was failed back then. And there was a lot of talk with suggestions of sewer plants built at a couple different spots, a give back, a trade off, and everything else. As far as I'm concerned, that deal's done. We have a sewer plant. That's forgotten. We could have never built those sewer plants if hindsight was 2020. The developer was given some bad information. DEP ultimately said, you're not putting anything into the Swamp Creek. You're not going to do this. They had 2 locations. We all know the history of that. The thing I'm concerned about, we talk about the relevance of sewer pumping stations. That's an active, viable part of the public health system to convey waste to your sewer plant. They're all over the state. A very classic example, Valley Forge Sewer Authority, one of the larger sewer authorities that sits on the other side in Chester County, across from the Oaks Wastewater Treatment Plant, within a mile, that's in Montgomery County. We are all serviced by pumping stations. Valley Forge probably holds a small record, if you know the terrain over there, which are different in Schuylkill Townships and the other townships they support. They have a staff of about 3 or 4 people. All they do is drive around and take care of their pumping stations. I don't know the mystique here about a pumping station. It's needed. It's part of the system if he has to build it. I think Mr. Goldthorpe is looking for an answer of some kind. But somebody has to get some knowledge about sewer pump stations. It's a public health issue. We're building one to service people up at Riverside. We have one right up the street here on Route 29. What do you want to do? Shut them down? They're a viable part of our system. The sewer users pay for them. Where are we going with this? What are we talking about?
And not only that, the overall picture here is nobody's looking at. The overall picture is we have some failing systems that need to be hooked up. South Station Road, Zieglerville Road. There's failing systems all over. Whether you know it or not, I do. You shake your head, but I'm going to tell you, I can show you. So, what I'm trying to tell you is, the 537 Act here was supposed to pick up some of these people. Now look at the full picture. So we don't do nothing for these people. They have the right to turn around and sue the township for saying, you've done nothing. You've done nothing. You had a chance to do it. You've done nothing. So, you got to look at the big picture here. Do we sit and want to be sued by other people or a developer? You got to make a decision. We have to make a decision and go somewhere. Is there?
I just want to be on the record for reminding my colleague and everyone else in here that number one, we should not be putting pumping stations in to facilitate having other people make money off of our township, not your excuse, to facilitate other development, to facilitate other people looking to develop, to put in new homes to make money off of them. Nor should we underestimate the high costs of extending our sewage, of taking care of these pumping stations. And everybody in this township who has public sewer will be paying for it. Not you. You know, I don't know. Do you have your own sewage, Ernie?
I have my own system.
Okay.
It's a forced pressure in-ground system. This
Yes,
past year, it's cost me a couple $1,000s, and I did the maintenance myself. I had to fix my forced main within my sewer tank. Not only that, but my house has another pump system for a basement bathroom that I have. Then I pay for that. That's mine, and I have to pay for my system. Has to be inspected once every 3 years, and has to be maintained. I have to take care of that system. Guess what? If you had to build a sewer system down my street, I would hook to it. And you would probably need a pump station on my street to get the effluent to your plant. If you build it by gravity, you could probably do that. But I have no problem with that. It's a public health system. That's the issue. It's public health. You have an obligation to take care of it. You can't worry about what people are going to make on a piece of property. If they go through the laws and they develop their property, God bless them.
What I'm concerned about is the cost to this community, and I don't think we should take this lightly. I think when we make a decision, we have to consider our budget. We have to consider, all of you know, we borrowed $10 million to build this sewage plant. It's going to cost us $2.9 million for that extension. Every time we put a new sewage line, it costs a lot of money. So I think we need to think very long and hard and carefully about committing to sewering the entire township. Yes, it is a good thing. I agree. I'm not in disagreement with you. I'm just saying I have a fiscal responsibility, as we all do, to consider the cost to our township and to make a choice that is not going to break our budget.
Phil?
Phil Smith, 205 Burlock Road. Again, I think a lot of what we're hearing tonight has come out at various times, and I think everybody seems to have, their own opinion. I do strongly feel, and I will say this over and over again, that it should be data-driven. We should get the facts. We've heard over and over again about failed or potentially failing systems. We have to know definitively where those systems are, what the actions that have been taken to date to correct them are, and then make decisions about how we want to expand out. I think it is, it's part of our obligation to try to move, a development that's been before us so much before ahead, but at the same time, I don't think we should do that without the guidance of having definitive, hard facts in which to base our decisions on. So that's my personal opinion.
Again, Brian Hill, I will continue to remind you, you have a document in front of you that states very specifically, 537, that what you are to do. That clear, it's not hard. You've got other developments that are potential in this township that are open for option to build upon, which requires sewer, and they are in the village area. So again, the 537 Act is specifically for the village area, and I do ask you to hesitate in using the term the whole community when you talk about sewering. We're not talking about the whole community, because when you say that, you scare a lot of residents who have on-site systems that are working properly and don't need public sewer. But the 537 Act is specific for the village area, and it is a living and active document. So I ask you to continue to consider that as you make your plans going forward.
Warren? Well, I'd like to point out that our 537 plan does contain more than one option. And it has an option that can take care of Mr. Hill if we wanted to take care of him. That's a lot less expensive than putting in a pumping station. But for some reason, we've been holding off on exercising any of those options that would actually fix the problems for these residents that really need it.
What is that?
It's the West Route number 2, option 2. The estimated cost, it's a low pressure system. Estimated cost in the Act 537 plan is $136,000.